Hello everybody, welcome to Speakeasy.
I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
But I'm going to call him Jay for the rest of the video. And we are the Dirt Road Men.
You call me what?
Jay.
Jay.
Jay and Silent Bob. And it's gone now.
I felt left out. I wanted a hat.
Then I ruined it. So if you guys are curious, today we're drinking Buffalo Trace Bourbon, smoking Rocky Patel Connecticut's, because I have a lot more of those than I have the other ones, and we need to get through these.
We've been drinking Buffalo Trace. It wasn't full, but...
It wasn't empty either. No, I've only had one glass. And you've had like 1.5 glasses, sort of.
Yeah. Got about 2 ounces.
Yeah. Ashed on my paper. So, people asked for like more political and stuff videos for our Monday Collabers, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing I've noticed with a lot of political videos is it's a lot of political bitching.
Yeah.
Even my favorite people, like Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, a lot of them, they just complain, like, all the time.
Yeah. And even on the opposite sides of those guys' viewpoints, they're complaining.
Well, yeah, ever since Trump became president, they're complaining anyway. They have one constant complaint in that direction.
Yep.
Let alone they're complaining about Kavanaugh this week and stuff. And I was going to do a video on Kavanaugh's confirmation and kind of talk about the Supreme Court and stuff. And then I said, you know what, I'm tired of videos bitching about things. That's not what we do in our other videos, and I don't want to get in the habit of it. We're probably still going to do it here and there, but I wanted to do at least one video that was positive.
Okay.
So overall, just overall, would you say the world's gotten better or worse? Even just since the founding of America. Let's go there.
Better.
Better than, say, 100 years ago?
Mm-hmm. I think, generally, overall, better than the last 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Our technology and...
Yeah.
I mean, we literally have
devices.
Well,
and like the world over, not just within the United States.
Yeah.
Good. Because that's what this video is about. It's justifications of why the world is better and why you can almost directly correlate the rise of the United States and capitalism and the empire of capitalism with this.
Okay.
Now, mostly I looked at why it's better, because I just wanted to show that it was better more than argue a case, but I wanted to make that point while I was doing it. So, a quick disparity in statistics. We're getting older. The average age in not just us as in mankind, is getting older in the sense of, in 1900, most of the living population was male, and 23 and under. That's where the bulk of the people were.
Okay.
Now, most of the world's living population is female and 35 or older.
Huh.
So most of the world's living population is a menopausal wreck.
Oh my god. Oh. From a capitalistic standpoint, that's great for what's that? Feminine hygiene products.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any name brands. Tampax? Is that
Sure.
a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's great for them.
Yep. Also in 1900, most people rented their homes and lived in the country. Now, most people actually own their homes and live in the city. Also, the average household size in 1900 was like 5 people to a home. Now it's like 2.2, 2.3. So
Okay.
it's between 2 and 3 people.
I believe that because you would have, parents and their kids and the grandparents
And even sometimes when you have kids, there's this like drastic rise of single parenting, mostly single motherhood. And so you get mom and kid. And most people, especially
more than
right
5
now,
kids.
most people, especially right now, are having like 1 to 2 kids or just not having kids. It's really fucking. And we're back! It's really weird.
Gotta figure out how to beep.
I would love to figure out how to beep. I probably need better editing software. But, yeah. I totally lost where I was going with that.
People are not having kids.
Yeah, people aren't having kids. We're in like a huge baby bust. And,
Gotta counteract that baby boom that kind of screwed some stuff up.
yeah. But also, like, our population, our planet, they estimate can only hold about 9 billion people, and we're at like 7.5 billion. And there's an experiment that I won't go into because it's a positive video that talks about things that tend to happen in population as you near that peak capacity. Now, we're still way off of peak capacity. But let's say Thanos' snap at the end of the Avengers movie. He killed half of like all the people on Earth. That only took us back to like 1960.
Can we bring back the cars?
Yeah.
Fair trade.
That's another way we've made the world better. America in particular has made the world better.
Have you seen the new Corvettes?
I have. I was a little upset when for a little while there they were trying those 3-liter V8s.
Yeah, you can still get those, but
Yeah.
not in the good ones.
Yeah, that's not their flagship thing anymore. They just wanted to appeal to the exotic car market for a while. So, 1900. Rented homes in the country, 5 people per home. And most people back then, and this is actually a late 1800s statistic, but I'm trying to go like the year 1900, because it's the easiest measurable span. It's too hot for this. Oh, man. Most people then were living on $1 a day per person in today's money. That's adjusted to our current money.
$1 a day.
Per person.
Per person. So, roughly, they were getting a refilled fountain drink at, like, any gas station. That's all they were getting a day.
Yes.
But they were growing their own food, and
They had no choice.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford not to.
man,
My sources, by the way, for this are primarily Steven Pinker and interviews he's done, and then a website called Thought. I didn't write the whole thing out, like Thought Company. And something like commonsense.org or something like that. Sorry, I forgot your name. Steven Pinker gave me the idea, so.
I wrote that down.
Anyway,
I'll make this pencil disappear.
so that makes minimum wage seem like a lot less of a problem because they could figure out how to do it then.
Yeah.
We have like, if you can afford a phone, you can figure out how to make your life work on minimum wage.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's. Do we have time to do that real quick?
Sure.
Okay, so you have $1 a day.
Yeah.
To
That's $30 a month.
$30 a month. Okay. A pack of ramen noodles costs a quarter. 25 cents. So you eat 3 times a day.
75 cents.
75 cents.
Still got 25 cents for everything else you need.
What else do you need?
Well, you could probably get stuff to wash your clothes with to last you for the whole month for $1 at the Dollar Tree.
Okay. So if every day you just bought 4 packages of ramen noodles.
And then every, 4 days you bought one thing at the Dollar Tree to encompass your other needs.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really crappy life.
But it's possible.
It's doable. Now, most of us don't even make minimum wage.
Yeah.
Less than 500,000 people, if I remember correctly, make minimum wage currently.
And I'm guessing a lot of those are going to be teenagers?
Yep.
just starting out at McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. But look that up. That's that really surprised me. I was talking about minimum wage, and I was like, how many people even make minimum wage? Like less than 500,000 people. Less than 500,000 out of 400 million people. A little shy of 400 million people. It's not even 1/3%.
Now, are those people who are making minimum wage, is that including like waitresses who also receive tips?
I'm not entirely sure. I believe it's people who on paper were claiming it minimum wage.
Okay.
So, I would assume so in that case. Now, that's interesting also because that means, like, we, even though we have a somewhat decent income disparity, but, like, our households are monumentally wealthy.
Yeah.
Compared to those standards. Like, imagine going home and telling your wife that you guys had to live on $2 a day for a month. She'd probably be like, have fun doing that on your own.
Yeah. You have fun with that.
I'm gonna go stay somewhere else for a month.
Probably. No. I think she'd stick around.
She just wouldn't participate?
Well, I mean, even if she... I'd spend more than that in fuel.
Yeah.
Just going to work.
Nah, man. Good bicycle. It makes thieving make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Now
I know why they do robbed all them banks.
So, fewer people have to stick in a house. More people own them than rent them now.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily argue that's a better factoid, but most people would. Also, in the last 20 years, so basically since the year 2000, the world over, poverty has shrunk by half.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, obesity is now a bigger world problem than world hunger. More people are obese than are starving.
Man. Really. Just kind of even that out then.
Yeah. In 200 years ago, 89%, because most of these facts that I gave up to this point were from the U.S. So, 200 years ago, 89% of the entire frickin' world lived in what we would refer to now as poverty. I think I let my cigar go out. Nope, not quite. Today, any guesses? What percentage of the world lives in what we would consider poverty?
20. Less? More?
9%. 9% of the entire world lives in what the U.S. would consider abject poverty. I'm not sure if abject poverty is the right word. Lives below what is the U.S. poverty line.
So out of everybody in the world, only 9% of those.
Yep.
So it's 9 out of every 100.
Our current poverty line is something like $21,000 for a family of 4 a year. Violent crime. This is another U.S. statistic. I don't have the world over statistic because it's much harder to measure because they report stuff differently in different countries. Violent crime is down over 30% just since 1990.
So that's something that's kind of mind-blowing because
it's not how the news portrays it, is it?
It's not it's not at all what
it's
you
not
hear.
what you hear about on YouTube either, because that's not the stuff people talk. People don't talk about things when they're going well.
Yeah.
People talk about things when they're messed up.
Everybody's always focused on all the negative crap.
Yeah. I really think it's a failing of our news system that they don't talk about that stuff more. Like, look at... Oh, there's a rapper, and I can't remember his name now. I keep thinking of R. Kelly, but I don't know if that's him. Okay, we're back again.
Welcome back to the Speakeasy. Where were we?
I don't know. Those are distracting now. It immediately like goes from Jake to Kid Rock. It's like Superman.
I need my hat. And a big furry like mink coat or something.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked about how violent crime was down 30% since 1990. Violent crime has overall been on a trend of decreasing since before that.
Really?
Hmm?
I can see that. Yeah, there's been... Okay.
I mean, here's a big case of evidence, a case study for why I think this is largely due to capitalism. One, the main producer in the world throughout that last century was us, the U.S. China's started giving us some problems in more recent years as they've allowed some more capitalist elements into their society. But the case study I think that does it best is India.
Yes.
In the mid-90s, 42% of people in India still lived in poverty.
Okay.
I had to look at it again because I didn't believe my head, and I read it. Whole thing. It's less than 1% now.
Because you have shops come from India, like AliExpress and...
Yeah. How many places outsource their stuff to India? I had a VA for
What is a VA?
what was that first website? Virtual Assistant.
Oh, okay.
Fandonia.
Oh,
I had a
okay.
VA for Fandonia. That was from India. And, dude, they were happy with like $6 a day.
Yeah.
Some people spend that on coffee. Cigarettes.
That's what I was gonna say. Hey, pack of cigarettes is like $6.50.
Yeah, for a pack of cigarettes a day, you can have a virtual assistant. It's like a secretary to call people for you.
Huh.
Yeah. So, that's like a radical decrease. That's a near 100% decrease in people living in poverty in India between one regime to moving to capitalism.
So now, do they have... Okay, so they have capitalism. Do they have like a full democracy, or...
I'm not
How
100%
is-
sure about their political system as to whether or not they have a full democracy, but we don't even have a full democracy. We have a constitutional republic.
Okay, well, you know what I mean.
Because full democracy means that, like,
everybody votes
we can
on-
vote that we get Seth's stuff.
Hmm. Okay.
Constitutional republic says you can vote on things, but you can never vote to violate this person. Actually,
Yeah.
that's what our constitutional republic means. Really, what it means is you adhere to the laws of a constitution. If that constitution didn't say we couldn't do that, then we could do that.
Okay.
So, that's the point of the Bill of Rights. It's to shield these things, to say, hey, explicitly in here we're going to list this is stuff you cannot violate.
Okay.
Now, China's started allowing some, like, capitalist elements into their society recently. They're nowhere near as communist as they were under, like, Mao.
Well, that's good.
Yeah! No kidding.
They only killed
But I'm not here
25
to-
million people a year now.
I'm not here to argue against socialism and communism right now.
Yeah.
I'm here to talk about the good things that have happened overall, which I think are largely a consequence of capitalism.
Can't go that far bad.
That's 100% a consequence of capitalism.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about as to why the world's getting better. One thing you hear a lot, especially in U.S. politics, is these unnecessary wars we get into, and we shouldn't act as world police and all this stuff. And all the soldiers we've lost in Iraq and Afghanistan. We lost more guys on the beaches of Normandy than we've lost in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Can we lose more guys on the beaches of Normandy since any other wars since that day
Maybe.
combined?
It was a lot. I don't know how many. But that's where I'm headed here. Since World War II, we've been in something that people that actually pay attention to the numbers are kind of referring to as the Long Peace, because it's one of the longest periods in history that no two major political powers have been in direct conflict with each other. World political powers. That would be like us in Russia, us in China,
Yeah.
us in England.
Because there was no actual... Cause during the Cold War, there was no actual battle. There might have been, spy versus spy.
There was no direct conflict. There's indirect conflict in countries like Korea and Vietnam.
Yeah.
The Cuban Missile Crisis was about as direct as it got.
Just hide it on the desk, you'll be alright.
Yeah, I can cover. We have lost so few people since World War II, and every war since then. If you add up every war since then, you get nowhere near the total of World War II. And it's been this constant thing where it's literally like we're talking about maybe tens of thousands of people that have died since World War II. Maybe it's 100,000. 71 million people died in World War II.
Our guys.
No.
Oh, total?
All over. That's
okay.
Now 71 million people includes people Hitler killed, soldiers that died,
Okay.
from all countries.
Okay.
It's like world population decimation.
Okay.
And I didn't mean to rhyme. The only event that I saw bigger than that in the history, looking at those numbers, was Genghis Khan. Now, he didn't kill as many people, but there were way fewer people in the world, so he killed a much greater percentage of the population.
So, back a little bit ago, we were talking about the population of the world. We're relatively close to max guesstimation where it should be. Do you think this long peace has something to do with that?
Probably. I mean, we have no major wars killing people off.
By the millions?
Yeah. I'm not really sure where to take that information at the moment because my thought process is elsewhere.
Okay.
But yes.
Thanos it?
No.
Bad Jake.
I was afraid that's kind of what
that was a joke. That was a joke.
You were gonna go towards, but I actually had a buddy at work argue that the world needs a Thanos, and it was not the socialist guy. It was not the socialist Marine.
Really?
It was the German. It's like, man, that's the most genocidal thing I've ever heard, and you're German.
Did you tell him he's not allowed to talk like that?
No, I left it alone.
Man, the 40s weren't really that long ago, bro. Calm down.
Yeah.
Everybody's still on edge.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not kidding. I thought that all of these things would be a good way to illustrate that the world has, genuinely gotten better, and I think you can genuinely point to, if not America, capitalism in that increase, because capitalism has created a huge increase in, we'll say GDP. Gross domestic product. It's how we measure how well we're doing.
Okay.
And all of it has created this explosion that has really, really helped the world. And if you look at it on a graph, how well all these things did, we're measuring from the last 200, 250 years, but really the largest uptake starts in the 60s.
Okay, I can see that.
I mean, the graph literally is yeah, and then it starts increasing 200, 250 years ago. And then it hits the 60s, and it just, shoots up. And then it hits about 98, and it shoots up again. More sharply.
Internet.
Yeah. So, before we made any more videos, saying something was stupid, like we did with Medicare for All, which I think we made a decent case for that. I thought it would be good to actually take the time to illustrate this message because, like, it sounded like at least most of these facts surprised you.
Yeah.
They surprised me when I read them. Like, writing this video out, I felt so much better about my life.
Yeah.
Especially, like, where we are, I was like, man, compared to people in the late 1800s, they would look at us and we would be, like, plantation owners, almost. Not the slave thing, but, like, lots of property. Doing really well. Plantation owners maybe wasn't the right word.
We'd be the fat cat.
Yeah.
Sitting on the front porch. Sweet pea and some fried chicken.
Can you imagine telling someone in the Old West that the world would have a bigger problem with fat people than starving people? Ever.
Yeah, that'd be...
I don't know if they believe it.
Okay.
Maybe people on that cutting edge of science at the time, but I don't think people by and large would have believed you.
Think about just going back to when your grandfather was our age.
Yeah.
Telling him that, like just going back in time and telling him, look, on a day-to-day basis, I carry around a device in my pocket about the size of your wallet. Yeah. That has the entire knowledge of man. Most people do.
Mm-hmm.
But most people use it to watch cat videos.
Yeah. Yeah, local DJ Johnny Dare makes fun of this. He's like, man, when I first saw the internet, I was like, wow, humanity's going to get a lot smarter really fast. And actually, IQ-wise, there's an argument to be made for that, although IQ's starting to level off and kind of go down.
I'd believe that.
It seems like, moreover, we've gotten, if not dumber, just more at each other's throats with the internet, particularly social media.
Well, yeah, because you can talk to somebody you don't know, you've never seen before in your life, and you can debate with anybody your views on anything.
Yeah. If I get bored, I can go on Twitter and start arguing with people. I don't like it there because I'm long-winded. But.
Yeah, and you can just throw something out there and somebody's going to say something about it 9 times out of 10, and then you can just and things can just blow up.
Dude, I saw a meme and I'm hoping, I really, really, really hope that this comment was a joke. Somebody posted a picture of just a white photograph, a blank white photograph, and said, finally a meme that will offend no one.
Why's it got to be white?
Okay, that wasn't the comment I saw, but that's good. The one I saw was somebody being like, making fun of people being offended just takes away from people paying attention to those in need of it. And like they went on this long rant about how like they were discrediting the bad issues in the world. And maybe 50% of the information I just presented, I gave to a guy a few months ago who was saying the world is definitely not better off. And I was like, dude, I can, with a quick Google search, prove you wrong. And I didn't even know for sure that I could at the time, but I felt like in my gut that we were better off than we were 200 years ago. Like, there's no way. We have so many things we didn't have then.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, maybe we're living through a hiccup, although it doesn't look like it.
No.
But no, it was... I presented him all these facts, and he's like, that's a teleological argument, which I'm not... I looked that word up, and it's something like... Okay, I'm not entirely sure the definition of that word, and I'm not going to try to define it here because I don't have a really great answer. But it was something like, I was picking and choosing facts to ignore the bad in the world. I was like, no, I'm just saying there's more good than bad. And the obesity starvation thing, I think, illustrates that the most perfectly. You looking up that word?
So, reason or explanation for something in function of its end, purpose, or goal.
So, in other words, you're picking and choosing facts based on the result you wish to present. which, to some degree, is what I did with this video, because I didn't look up, did the world get better? I looked up, how is the world better? But I think these are really good justifications to argue that the world is, by and large, better. People are generally, like, the median population age is generally older. For guys, it should be really good news that there are more women than there are men.
Well, yeah.
For obvious reasons. It's like, oh, there is literally someone for you.
May not feel like it 100% of the time.
Yeah, but they have less to choose from than you do. Which means you don't have to be as good to come out. But
You just have to be better than somebody.
and even if you're the worst guy, if every guy gets one girl, there's still a bunch of girls that have no guy.
Yeah. And that's when those fellas who run like 4 or 5 girls at a time are just like, man, just slow down.
Yeah. Well, and then when you take account like homosexuality and issues like that, that changes the dating pool more.
I feel like there are more homosexual men than there are women. I don't know why, I just...
Yeah, like you don't have statistics to support that. You just think about it and you're
Yeah.
like, I think there are more homosexual men. And I think that has to do... I'm really flying off the handle on this one. I haven't done a lot of research in this, but I am researching something along these lines. I think that has to do with the way mankind goes about mate selection, if we're going to talk about this from a more animalistic perspective.
Okay.
There are very few women who never find a mate. Arguably, if they were looking for one, there would be none. There are many men who never do. How many single old women that aren't widowed can you think of? Not even old women, just like over 40.
What?
I better know who that is, because it's probably the same one I thought of. How about men?
Like,
By single, I mean unmarried.
just unmarried?
Mm-hmm. Or not living in a marriage-type situation where they're living with their significant other.
Over 40.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
We can throw your brother in there, too. Hi, Aaron.
You said around 40 when I'm talking about my brother.
I didn't say around 40, I said over 40.
Over 40. Off the top of my head, only 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I don't know. There's a few I can think
I can think of 5.
Okay.
And I can think of 1 female. 5 dudes, 1 female. Now that's anecdotal, right? That's not like real data. That's what comes to mind on the fly. But I asked you both questions on the spot, and still with on-the-spot answers, you came up with at least 3 times as many men as women.
Yeah.
So, there's that. There's also that, with mankind, at least modern mankind, generally speaking, it's more like the woman selects the mate than the male. Whereas in other species, let's say ducks, the male will just pick one.
Yeah.
And then reproduce with that one. Generally in what we would call as human beings rape. But
That's a thing. Duck rape is real.
yeah. It's kind of scary. Also, apparently the frogs are gay. Alex Jones, I don't know, man.
Oh, I was like,
There was
what the
actually a
hell is an
Berkeley
Alex
study
Jones?
that said something about frog, like an abnormal amount of the frog population turning gay. Alex Jones argued because they were putting fluoride in the water to cause humans to become homosexuals. He's a weird dude, man.
See, what I heard about fluoride had like an opposite effect. It made men more docile, and they use that with in prisons to try to keep the rape down.
I thought that was saltpeter.
Maybe.
That's what I was told. They call it saltpeter. But anyway, I think we're kind of rolling off subject a little bit.
Quite a bit.
But I thought we would do a video of like reasons why the world is better, because our other videos honestly are just us enjoying ourselves. And the reason we weren't doing a whole lot of like political videos and stuff is it just gets tiring to talk about, dude. Like, everyone we see on TV is complaining about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some legitimate arguments to be made.
Yeah.
But the thing that irritates me is when you move from arguments to saying F the system. When it's like, the system has done good things for us overall. Not necessarily government in and of itself, but our system of living has done a lot. Our systems of innovation and things like that. So, anyway, with good tidings this week, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jake.
And we are the Dirt Road Men.
If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, drop us a comment, and check out our Facebook page for daily updates.